Hello everyone, this is a video response to two different videos. One I watched in the Friday Night Fail when I was one of the participants because Brian J1962 decided to broadcast it to all of us. And I wish I had more warning, because there's some people's videos that you just have to be in the mood for, you know? It's like I have an ex-girlfriend that I actually have her name in my phone as H-E-R, like capital letters, her, you know, because if I'm not in the right mood, I don't want to answer the phone when she's calling, because it's her. Same thing with watching a video by Campbell. You know, sometimes you're relaxing, you know, you're in, you know, this really peaceful state, and you don't want to piss all over that with a Campbell video. Anyways, Randy's video is Rand pulled over for a hitchhiker today, and then he's got the God Eye symbol in the title, and then we're gonna respond to Biblethumpingwingnut's Bible Thumping Buffet #1. Thank you very much for using a very tiny clip of me in your video, Tim. So first with Randy, I want you to understand that this is something that I can probably use an analogy from your boxing days, Randy. If you feel like you are standing in between atheists and hell, okay, you've positioned yourself to go, no, don't get in there. You're standing right between the atheists and hell. Do you really think that that's good positioning for you? Just saying, if you were standing between me and, say, a big mud puddle, I might push you. Yeah, and also, Randy says that he thinks that God meant, when he said, turn the other cheek, when Jesus said that he meant to other Christians. That there's a double standard, that you're supposed to be nice to Christians, but if somebody is not a Christian, then you don't have to turn the other cheek with them. And I would say that that's a bastardization of the teachings of Christ, and you need to check yourself. Just reread over those passages and really try to soak it in, that it was actually a better message than what you're making it out to be. Also, I'd like to talk to you about intellectually honest debate. Basically, when two people come into this conversation, they have to be willing to, I guess, accept the premises of the premisi. They have to be able to accept the argument of the other person, if they make sense, if they have evidence for their claims that is just unrefutable. And when two people of differing viewpoints come together and have an honest discussion or debate, there's always a chance that one of them is going to change their mind. Now, if you come into this discussion saying, no matter what the other guy says, you're not going to change your mind, then you're not being honest in just engaging in that debate. It's good that you're saying this up front, that no amount of evidence is going to sway you, but let's move on to Biblethumpingwingnut's video, where he says that there's atheists, that there's no amount of evidence that will sway them, right? And what does he say that we should do to those atheists? We shouldn't talk to them. They don't deserve our evidence, you know, because no amount of evidence is going to be good enough. Well, you see here, Randy, he's saying that, you know, if the atheists aren't budging, that we need to talk to someone else, and you're saying that you're not willing to budge. So why would atheists talk to you? Okay? It's called hypocrisy. And when you say, kick the dust off your feet, this is a very popular parable for Christians. If people aren't listening to your testament, they're not responding to your testimony, then you're supposed to just, go find somebody who will. Pair that up with the fool says there in his heart there is no God. If you're walking around looking for people to accept your message, and the second you see that they're not going to be receptive to it, you move on, then everyone you meet that is receptive to your message that God exists and Jesus is the Savior, every one of them is very pliable and naive, and they're foolish because they're not taking a skeptical look at what you're saying. If you're going to kick the dust off your feet every time you run into trouble in an argument, then all the people that you finally reach will all be fools, because they aren't thinking about what you're saying, they're just accepting it. So, is it the fool that says there's no God? Or is it the fool that just accepts everything you say without questioning? Think about that, Randy. Think about that, Tim. And also for Tim, I'm going to say presuppositional arguments do get a bit frustrating, especially when there are hundreds of years of better thinkers than you or I, Tim, that have gone back and forth on this, and you seem to be stuck on the first part of the discussion when, the fight has been laid out. You can read how things went over the years. But I would say that the crux of what I feel when people use presuppositional arguments for Christianity is this sort of frustration that I don't normally think is appropriate to push on them, and yet you're going to push it on me. What if I were to go with presuppositional atheism? You know what it would sound like, Tim? It would be, everybody knows that there is no God. This is a case worldwide where a third of the planet has been tricked by peer pressure, right? To pretend like they believe in God because they're afraid of what their neighbors might do to them if they don't. Because, people are like, oh, that person's different, kill him, kill him, kill him, or, shun him or whatnot. And people are afraid of being shunned. And what this really is a giant case of the emperor has no clothes. And only the atheists are brave enough to say, hey, there's nothing there, and you guys are all bullshitting each other, pretending like you actually see something when nobody sees anything. And only the honest atheists who state what they actually see are being true to themselves. That's what presuppositional atheism would sound like as an argument. Do you think that wouldn't come off as insulting? Maybe. Think about it. I hope that no one comes at you with it, because to assume that you know what is inside somebody else's head when it isn't what is in their head, it comes off very insulting. You can't know my thoughts. I can't know your thoughts. Okay? Last thing I'll say to everyone is, if you haven't already done it, supplies are running out. Go down to your local store and buy up all the atheist half-off candy. Or previously marketed as Christian candy. This is the Jesus fish, and it's delicious. It's the same chocolate that you'd get in a regular Hershey bar or Russell Stover bar, but it's half off, because 'tis the season for good half off chocolate. Check you all later.